Hi, welcome to another monthly broadcast. Thank you everyone that joined last month. Hopefully you're still here for this month. We're answering a lot of your questions that you asked last month. And of course, if you have any other questions this month, just pop them on the chat. Lewis, Christina, and Christina will be joining us in a bit, but all three of us will be in the Q&A so we can answer all the questions that you're leaving on the chat. Lewis, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me once again.
One of the main topics that we're going to talk about today is Spain. Christina's actually joining me for that one. She's from Spain, she's a VAT specialist, and we're here to answer all the questions, as I mentioned, that you were asking last month. So everything to do with the intra-EU number, filing periods, penalties, everything to do with Spain.
And then following on from that, we will have Yuri doing our second topic of this broadcast, which will be about France and Regime 42. So the one-off fiscal representation option over there, which has been scrapped. So stay tuned for that segment in particular.
Then one of our most exciting times of the year, Black Friday, is coming up, and we have an exclusive promotion for all of November. So stay tuned to know what that discount is, and you will be able to apply it if you sign up in November.
And now, leading on from that, we've also got Patrick, who'll be joining us for section 4, and he'll be talking about how Ireland has changed within Amazon, how that is now part of Pan-EU, and what that means for sellers and how they can take advantage of this moving forward.
And straight after Patrick, we have Laura with the famous topic of AI tools. It's something we talk about every day and is being more and more involved in sales, in purchasing, consumer behaviors. So stay tuned for that one because there's a lot of tips, a lot of information.
And then just before our Q&A session, we will also be diving in a little bit more about the online hustle. So we've got some exciting announcements about that. So if you haven't heard about it already, that's our podcast series, which is available on YouTube and Spotify, all major platforms. So stay tuned for an announcement about that as well.
Perfect. And always a reminder, just like I said at the beginning, leave your questions on the chat and we will answer them at the end. But you could just keep posting them as we go and then we can just address them right at the end live with you guys. Thank you. We'll go straight to it. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. This is our main topic in this month's broadcast because you had a lot of questions about Spain in our last month's broadcast. So I thought I would bring Christina in with me today, who's a filing expert. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you very much.
To talk about the intra-EU number in Spain, all to do with filings, penalties, all the questions that you had last month. So to start off with, I wanted to talk about the intra-EU number. Spain is one of the few countries that has two numbers, the local VAT number and the intra-VAT number, which you also call the ROI sometimes in Spain. What this means is that this intra-EU number allows you to do two things. One of them is move inventory between countries and apply a 0% VAT rate. And the other one is to activate Amazon's automatic invoicing.
Please bear in mind that the intra number, you can only apply for that if you have another valid VAT number in Europe. So it will allow us, as Natalia says, to move goods between countries, applying 0%, and you need another valid VAT number in Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't have that valid EU number, then there's no point you having an intra-EU number because you're not doing movement of goods between two countries. So they'll only accept applications that come with that. Also note that the application actually takes about 4 months. It's a long process because of the requirements. It's only for certain people, so they want to make sure that everyone applying actually needs it. As part of this registration process, there could also be an audit. So it's not as simple as getting a VAT number. What I do want to emphasize is that with a local VAT number, you can still store in Spain. So it's not stopping you from making sales. It's just the intra-EU is only needed for certain things. So you should only be applying if you actually need it. The thing that a lot of you were asking in last month's broadcast is, what is AVASK doing to fix this? What things are we doing to implement a faster process? So we've actually hired someone in our office in Madrid that will go to the tax office and apply for these numbers in person. Again, Spain is a whole other world and they do things very differently. So we're adapting to that, and we had someone that goes specifically to the tax office to apply for this for you. So now that we've defined what an intra-EU number is versus a local VAT number, I wanted Christina to go into depth about the filings, some of the penalties that you might be receiving, how to avoid these. So Christina, in terms of the actual filings, how often are they? What is the deadline?
Thank you, Natalia. Yeah, the VAT returns in Spain are quarterly and must be submitted at the end of the quarter by the 20th of the following month. For the last quarter of the year, the tax office gives us a little extra time, so the deadline is the 30th instead of the 20th. Please bear in mind that there is an additional submission at the end of the year, the annual VAT return.
Perfect. So we talked about deadlines, but actually people have to do something extra before they can file.
Yeah,
right?
They have to submit the annual return, and it's a summary of the rest of the quarters that have been submitted during the year.
Okay. So we've got filings, we know and we understand the differences. How about the payment of VAT?
Yeah, the payment, in order to submit VAT returns with payment of any VAT liability, our Madrid office, our Spanish office, needs to receive the payment in advance. Otherwise, we cannot submit the VAT return for you. Penalties, however, can be paid directly to the tax office using the instruction we send alongside the notification when we receive. We usually contact the client, all of you, if we receive any notification, and we always send you payment instructions to pay directly to the tax office any penalty.
Okay, I think this is a very big one because people might think that we can just file and then you can pay for the VAT, but actually it's pay the VAT first and then we can file. Do you think this is maybe why people get penalties sometimes, that we just can't file because we don't have the payment, so the steps need to be taken?
Yeah. We always send you all the instructions via email, or you have everything detailed on your client portal if you are under self-serve program. But yeah, it's mandatory and absolutely necessary to get the VAT liability amount beforehand in order for us to submit the VAT return for you.
So let's imagine someone has got a penalty. What happens next? How can we help?
Well, the tax office in Spain is very strict, as you may all know, and late submissions means automatic penalties, even for nil returns or sellers without Spanish sales. So if you have a valid VAT number in Spain, a local one, the submissions of the quarterly returns are mandatory, and the submission of the VAT return, if it's not done by the deadline, a penalty will be triggered.
Okay.
How to avoid those penalties? Pay the VAT liability on time, as is instructed in our email or client portal. And as I explained, under self-serve program in your client portal, you have to do an extra step. So you need to confirm submission. You have to click the button, confirm submission. When you click confirm submission, another window will pop up saying, have you paid your VAT liability? Pay now, otherwise the submission cannot be done. So there's an extra step that we need to follow.
Amazing. So we've covered differences between local VAT and intra-EU. We've done the filings, what the deadlines are. Very, very essential that you pay your VAT liabilities first, then you file, and if you have to approve the filing, approve it, because then AVASK can actually file for you, but we need you to confirm that. And by doing this, you can just avoid penalties, which I know is the biggest thing. In terms of getting refunds, is that something that you could elaborate on? What can we discuss today?
Yeah, if you have at the end of the quarter any refund, any credit that you need to claim to the reclaim to the VAT tax office, we have to carry forward that the credit for the rest of the year. And it's only in the last quarter of the year, the fourth quarter, when the refund can be requested to the tax office. It cannot be done during the year, unfortunately. And in some instances, it can take until up to 6 months to get that refund back from the tax office.
Okay, so expect it about June the year after.
Yeah, up to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the tax office needs to pay you interest.
Okay, perfect. If you do have any questions on anything that we've discussed today, just pop them on the chat. At the end of the broadcast, we'll be back and we'll answer all those questions. Hopefully, anyone that was here last month, those questions have been answered, but obviously, any more that come up, we're more than welcome to assist. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Natalia.
From 1st of January 2026, France is making major changes to its custom procedure, Regime 42. This is something every UK business trading with the EU needs to know. Until now, Regime 42 has made life easier for non-EU companies by letting them import goods into France without paying import VAT, just as long as those goods were sent straight to another EU country. However, from January 2026, the one-off fiscal representation option is being scrapped. In simple terms, UK business won't be able to use a third-party French VAT number to bring goods into France VAT-free anymore. Instead, if you want to keep using Regime 42, especially if you are shipping under DDP terms, you need to register directly with the French tax authorities, get your own French VAT number, and start filing French VAT returns yourself. The good news is that France will still use an automatic reverse charge for import VAT, a bit like the UK postponed VAT accounting system. So you will declare and recover VAT on the same return, meaning no cash flow hit. And if you are selling to a French registered business, the reverse charge will apply there too. So your customer accounts for the VAT instead of you. For expert help with VAT registration or compliance in France, talk to AVASK, your trusted partner in international tax and custom solutions.
Black Friday, it's almost here, and if you're selling online, this is your reminder that it's not too late to make a big impact. Even with just a few weeks to go, there are still powerful moves you can make right now to boost your sales. So here are 3 last-minute tips to help you finish strong this Black Friday. First up, visibility. At this stage, it's all about making sure people see you before the big day. Start posting teaser deals, update your homepage banners, and make it clear that your Black Friday offers are coming. Send a quick coming soon email or run a small reminder to all the past customers. You just want to stay on top of their mind because people are already browsing and planning what to buy. Next up, check your website flow. Maybe you don't have time for big redesigns, but you can fix the small stuff that make a huge difference. Test your checkout. Is it quick, mobile-friendly, and easy to use? Make sure the payment option works and highlight your delivery and return policy clearly. Even one smaller step in the checkout can mean more sales when the rush hits. And finally, keep your offers simple and time-based. You don't need complex bundles or brand new campaigns right now. Pick a few of your best products and run flash sales deals or early access offers in the lead up to Black Friday. If you can, also try to add free shipping and a little bonus gift, as people love a freebie. Then schedule your emails and social media posts in advance so you're not scrambling on the day. So even if you have done much to prepare yet, don't panic. Just focus on visibility, a smooth checkout, and a simple, urgent offer. We also have a special AVASK Black Friday promotion, and as you can see on the screen, this includes a free registration, discounted registration after the first service, and even discounts on takeovers for some specific services. So make sure you check it out and keep in mind that this is valid from November to the 1st of December. So if you sign up to our promo and make the most of the tips that we shared today, you'll be ready to make the most out of the biggest shopping weekend of the year. Good luck and happy selling!
Ireland is one of Europe's fastest growing e-commerce markets, with one of the highest GDPs per capita in the EU. That means customers have strong spending power and are shopping online more than ever. Now, with Amazon IE fully launched, it's the perfect time to get your products in front of Irish buyers. And the easiest way to do it is through Amazon's Pan-EU FBA program. With Pan-EU, you send your products to one European fulfillment center, and Amazon handles the rest, storing and shipping your products across Europe, now including Ireland. Here's why this is a game changer for sellers in Ireland. First, your listings become Prime eligible giving Irish consumers the fast, reliable delivery they love. Second, you benefit from reduced fulfillment fees since your inventory is held and delivered locally within the Amazon network. And third, your products can rank higher in search results on Amazon.ie, helping you reach more consumers and increase your sales. Ireland's online retail market is still developing, so now is the time to establish your presence and build customer loyalty before the marketplace gets crowded. With strong consumer spending power, Irish buyers are ready to shop, and sellers who act now can secure a valuable position in this growing market. So if you're ready to expand your business, Amazon's Pan-EU program is your key to success in Ireland. Faster delivery, lower fees, and greater visibility across one of Europe's most promising e-commerce markets.
Over the past few months, there have been significant advances in the tools available to online sellers, of course in line with the changes and tools available to consumers and how they can shop. From product discovery to creative design, smarter search and instant checkout, AI is reshaping every step of the consumer journey. So for online sellers, these tools aren't optional anymore. They're really going to be your new competitive edge. First, Amazon's new AI system, Cosmo, powers its search engine and AI assistant, Rufus. So it no longer looks at just keywords, it understands the intent and feeling too. So you could type cold evening walks in and you'll see jumpers, coats, woolly hats come up as suggestions, not just products associated with the word cold or the word walks, which would be, put into the product title. So it's a search that is powered by context and not just the keywords. So if your listings still rely on the keywords, it's really time to rethink that and write for people, not just the algorithms. And this is what Cosmo on Amazon is going to be rewarding. Then there's Lens Live, Amazon's real-time visual search. So you can point your iPhone camera at anything and it will instantly find matching products. So this is using Amazon's AI and computer vision tech. Everyday moments, anywhere you are, you can now have an instant shopping opportunity. So if you can find a way to use that to your advantage in terms of image search, then this could be huge for your online store. Next, we have Creative Studio, Amazon's new generation of AI creative tools. So this generates ad images, videos, copy, and even voiceovers instantly. Some brands using it have seen click-through rates triple and return on ad spend double. It's fast, smart, and fully integrated with Adobe Express. So for sellers, that means professional, high-performing creative content for your listings in a fraction of the time that it would have taken you to set this up previously. And finally, ChatGPT has entered the game with instant checkout via ChatGPT. So users can buy directly from Etsy sellers. Shopify merchants like Skims and Glossier will be coming soon. It's powered by the Agentic Commerce Protocol. So it's a secure new standard that's built with Stripe and lets AI agents like ChatGPT and merchants like Etsy, Shopify work together. So shoppers can go from chat to checkout in just a few taps without actually leaving the ChatGPT app. So for sellers, it's a new AI-powered sales channel with zero friction. So from Cosmo's intelligent search to Lens Live's instant discovery, Creative Studio's AI ads and ChatGPT's seamless checkout, one thing is clear: the future of e-commerce is AI native. So sellers really need to embrace these tools, and those sellers that do will dominate tomorrow's marketplaces.
This is the Online Hustle, the place to be if you want bite-sized information, stories, and interviews with successful sellers and brand owners. This is the podcast you need to tune into if you want to take your e-commerce business to the next level. I'm Lewis, and every single day I help sellers strategize and expand globally. And trust me, I see the same patterns all the time. People hitting walls with VAT, compliance, logistics, changing buyer behavior, you name it. So this season, we'll cover the real challenges of selling into Europe from the US, what the tax authorities actually want from you, and how to stop leaving money on the table, no matter what category your products are in. You'll hear from people who've scaled their businesses properly, plus a few stories of what not to do. If you sell online, want to, or just like hearing about the chaos behind the scenes, you're in the right place. This is the Online Hustle. Join us every Tuesday for new episodes across all major online platforms. See you then.
Live Q&A.
thank you so far for everybody's questions. And if you've not already seen the little box at the bottom, you can just post a comment in there, and then any future questions that you've got, maybe something that we say now might prompt a response from you. But if you just drop your questions into that post a comment section, then they'll come up on our screen and we can answer them through with you guys now. As I say, thank you for the ones that we've already got. We'll start with number one, which is from Melinda. This one says, if a company has an intra-EU VAT number, is the local VAT not necessary? This is in relation to Spain. So Christina, if you don't mind just answering that one, our Spanish expert.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Melinda, for that question. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it's not possible to get an intra-VAT number in Spain without a local VAT number. So the first step is to get a valid VAT number for local sales in Spain, and afterwards you can request an intra-VAT number. The tax office can request some more information, so they will request some proof that you need that intra number, and afterwards, after all the checks are done from the tax office, they will provide you with the intra number.
Yeah, and just to clarify, it is very necessary to have the local one, because without it, you can't store. So that's your first step in expanding, is to get the local VAT number.
Yeah.
Nice. So we also have one from Felipe here, which I'll show on the screen. This one says, regarding regime 42, if you are a European company that imports from China and goes through France and the goods go to, let's say, Spain, Italy, Germany, can we use the regime 42, or European companies do need a France VAT number? So in this case, because you are a European company already, then you can still continue to use regime 42. So regime 42 is like limited fiscal representation. So people often do this through Netherlands, whereby their products will arrive in Netherlands, but they're eventually not going to be stored in the Netherlands. So they're then moved from the Netherlands into, like you say, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, wherever you do hold a VAT number, and you're going to store your products there eventually. So the same thing applies for France. You can do the same thing there. All that we were saying on the previous segment is that regime 42 from the 1st of January next year is going to be discontinued for non-EU companies. So in this case, because you are a European company, you can still continue to use this. So no troubles for you there, Felipe.
Perfect. And I think we have another question from Felipe, don't we?
Yeah, the one just down
about
here.
Ireland. So about Ireland, Amazon states that if you want to use pan-European, you need to have 4 countries. Yes, that's still correct, which needs to be, is actually 4 listings. So you have to have your listings in Italy, Spain, France, and Germany. And recently, Netherlands has been added, so listings in 5. And then you have to store in at least 2 countries, which the 2 countries can either be Spain, Italy, Germany, France, or Poland. So any of those 2, and you're eligible for pan-EU. So this doesn't mean that Ireland has to be part of your pan-EU. We were just saying that Ireland has been included, so you could add it onto your system. So you could have Germany, France, and add Ireland if you want to, but it's not compulsory.
Nice, nicely done. This one, another one from Felipe. We A/B tested normal titles with the keywords as always, and one with a Cosmo approach. It was 50-50 result, brackets, no visible improvement. Are you having any comments regarding these changes from other sellers? So Felipe, with this one, I would say that's more of an Amazon specific question, but I appreciate the fact that you're saying, have we had any other comments regarding this change from other sellers? Myself, not personally, no. I think at the moment with all of these new AI tools with Amazon, they are being rolled out pretty slowly. So I believe as well it's region blocked. So, certain areas are getting them first, whereas others are coming in a little bit later on down the line. As I said, myself, I haven't heard anything about the actual results that people have seen from using Cosmo and the different ways that they've used keywords and how that's changed their visibility on Amazon's platform. But with that, I would maybe bring it up to your Amazon account manager if you have one, or you can use some online forums as well to see, maybe Reddit or something like that, to see if there's other people that have seen a big increase in their visibility because of it. But yeah, from our side, like I said, me personally, I haven't. So hopefully that answered the question anyway.
Perfect. And then we have a question from Juan. Juan, I know this is obviously a specific scenario for you. You've been waiting for your intra-EU number for a long time in Spain. You got your local one after 7 months, and you're still waiting for the intra. 18 months is a long time. What I'm thinking here is, Juan, do you have another EU VAT number? Because without another EU VAT number, it's quite difficult to get an intra-EU. So that would be my first question to you. And then the second one is that there's possibly an audit going on as to why you need to have the intra-EU number. As Christina and I were saying, they don't give this to everyone because it's not necessary to have. You just need to have the local one. So there is a chance that they don't give it to some people if they don't need it, or they just take a little bit longer to give it to you because they want to verify that you actually have it. If you could just send us an email to inquiries@avaskgroup.com, we can look into your case a bit further and see what the reason is behind, and then we can give you your specific reason. Christina, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, if you contact us directly, yeah, I will be able to check on the website if there is something going on, if there is any audit or something pending for us to reply, or for you to send us any documentation that the tax office can request. So yes, please contact us, and I will be happy to check your case.
Keep hold of the microphone a second, because we've got a follow-up question for Spain. Which says, on which VAT number do you submit VAT returns in Spain, local or intra-EU VAT number?
Yes, once you have the local VAT number in Spain, you have to submit VAT returns in Spain. So it's mandatory from the date that you get the local VAT number. The following step is to get the intra number, and it will allow you to move goods between European countries without being taxable. But yeah, from the date that your local VAT number is active, you need to start submitting VAT returns in Spain.
Nice. We have one from Howard Liao. This one says, through AVASK, we applied VAT number for Ireland.
Perfect.
Before receiving VAT from the tax office, will AVASK automatically file VAT in Ireland for us? On the other hand, AVASK mentioned that we can get the application fee refunded in 3 months. Will we receive the notice from AVASK or Amazon?
Yeah,
take that?
Perfect. Yeah. So as soon as you get your VAT number for Ireland, we will be submitting the filings, just like Christina mentioned for Spain. Is exactly the same. As soon as your number becomes live, we'll file. In regards to the refund, it's actually a bit of both. So AVASK tells Amazon, we actually tell them every Thursday all the VAT numbers that have become live, and then they have it on their system so that they're ready to refund. There's a few things that you need to do. You have to have your VAT number onto Seller Central. It has to be active and on Seller Central. It has to be there for at least 3 months for then Amazon to refund you. And you have to enable storage and selling in Ireland. So if you've ticked all those boxes and you've been waiting for 3 months, you will probably get your refund soon. But again, if you've been waiting for more than 3 months, just send us an email and we can chase Amazon on your behalf. The refund does come from Amazon, but it's us that tell Amazon that you're ready for that refund to happen. So we can work together on this.
And it's worth noting as well that that refund will go directly into your Seller Central. So it should come up under miscellaneous adjustments as well. Right. So you'll see it in your Seller Central balance. You'll see that you get a credit of up to €1,900, and that comes under miscellaneous adjustment.
That's right. We always say refund, but it's not an actual refund. It's a reimbursement onto your account.
This one from Federica Brescancin. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I tried my best. This one says, is it true that a digital certificate is also required in Spain in addition to a VAT number? No.
So you might have heard this because of EPR. So you need a digital certificate to apply for an EPR number in Spain, not to apply for a VAT number. So maybe those two things are just mixing up. If you have a VAT number already, it's very easy to get a digital certificate. AVASK can do this for you, and then you can get your EPR number. So no, in regards to your question, you don't need it for VAT.
Nice. This one is from Pavels Rosmayevs. This one says, what are the most common mistakes with Spanish VAT? AVASK informed that I have VAT, but Amazon is not accepting it.
So it's because of the intra-EU. There's a web page called VS where you can put your VAT number into it and it tells you whether it's active or not. It will only show that it's active if you have the intra-EU. That doesn't mean your local VAT number isn't active. It is active. It's just not showing on the website. We can see that it's active on the actual tax office's platform. So you don't have to worry about that. But that's probably why Amazon's saying it's not necessarily valid, but it is. I don't know, Christina, if you know any other common mistakes that people do or any more on that one?
No, not that I can think of now. But I'm happy to contact you, Pavelas, because I recognize your name. So I'm glad to for seeing you. I can send you the VS website so you can check that the VAT is actually invalid for intra-community transactions, but I can also send you a website so you can check that the local number is active.
Nice. Hopefully that answered your question. And we'll move on to the next one, which says, from Simone Foot, can we ship directly to Ireland without using the pan-EU system? Yes, we have an Irish VAT number. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can move your goods to Ireland if you would like. It doesn't necessarily have to be under pan-EU. It's only recently that pan-EU for Ireland has been activated over the past couple of weeks. But I mean, even in my own experience, I've had plenty of clients who have already moved goods to Amazon Ireland themselves. And, you know, even selling just off Amazon as well. If you're selling on Shopify or any other platforms and you just want to use a 3PL over in Ireland, you can absolutely do this with a VAT number. The VAT is not intrinsically connected to Amazon, it's its own thing. It's just that Amazon was running that promotion to get people to use the fulfillment center over there. So yeah, the short answer is yes, you can absolutely use it. You don't have to use pan-EU in Ireland.
Perfect. And Juan, I see that you've told us that you have a couple more VAT numbers in Europe, which is great. It means that you can apply for an intra-EU number. So I insist, send us an email so that we can investigate what's happening with your intra-EU VAT number. One of the things that I mentioned in our section is that the way that you apply for intra-EU has recently changed. You have to go in person. So that's why we have now someone in Madrid ready to go to the tax office and apply for this for you. So I think one of the options could be, let's just reapply, go to the tax office and get you a fresh new one. Forget the old application form that we've done. So send us an email and we can look into that.
Cool. We have another one from Felipe. This one says, I have the same problem, still waiting for the intra-EU, at least 8 to 10 months. We need it because of the automatic invoicing and also to move the goods between countries.
Okay, so I assume, Felipe, you also have some more VAT numbers. Same principle. If you do, you are eligible. Send us an email and we'll look into your case.
Thank you, Felipe. Another one from Simone. Thanks for the second question. This one says, the Spanish VAT number I have put into Amazon has been rejected. How can I change it?
Yeah, it's probably because of the intra number.
Yeah.
It's the same answer as Pavelas. Probably the VAT number is valid for local sales and you can store goods in Spain, but Amazon is saying that it's been rejected because of the intra number. So for that reason, probably it's not accepted. But yeah, you can store goods as long as you have a valid VAT number in Spain. And you have to wait until the intra number is alive.
Thank you. Another one from Federica. We have applied for an Irish VAT number with AVASK, but we have not received any updates. Excuse me. I'll try that again. We have applied for an Irish VAT number with AVASK, but we have not received any updates since May. Is this normal? No, that's not normal. There's definitely something that's not correct there. It usually takes 2 months at the most.
Max, yeah.
So no, May to now is not normal. I'm interested to find out what specifically has happened there. Like, if you can maybe send a follow-up note with a bit more sort of context to your specific situation. Like, were all of the documents fine? When was did you sign up with us in May, or did we confirm that the VAT registration had been submitted in May? Because, you know, they could be two different things. So no, in summary, that's not normal, and it wouldn't take anywhere near as long as that usually. But if you can just give us a bit more context for that one, Federica, we'd be happy to answer.
Yeah, one of those things, the only thing I can think of is we do need quite specific evidence to get the VAT number. So you need to have had a sale in Ireland or a B2B sale. So maybe we were just missing that, and the tax office can't process it without it. So as Lewis said, if you can send us an email again, we can look into it.
Mm-hmm. Another one from Simone as well. I think this is the second one from her. How can we get more information about the changes to Regime 42?
I mean,
we usually put out. Sorry, go ahead.
You go.
I was just going to say we usually put out information on newsletters, so email newsletters about important changes. Of course, Regime 42 isn't just affecting AVASK, and it's affecting a wide variety of sellers across the rest of the world, but not in the EU. So, of course, you can go ahead and do your own research about this. There's countless news articles about it as well. But if we haven't already, then I imagine there would probably be a newsletter blast that would go out about this specifically.
Yeah, perfect. And there's so much information out there that everywhere we've checked, it gives you the right information. So just have a Google, and we'll obviously put some blog posts. And we could also go into more depth on it in our next broadcast if that's of interest.
I suppose with things like this, because it's changed to the way that the French tax authorities are looking at international imports, probably the best place to look at for information about this would be on the French tax authorities website themselves. So just refer to that. But of course, we always have as much information as our sellers need as well. But thank you for the question, Simone. We will move on to Howard again. Thanks for coming back to us. This one says, it happens very often that we try to submit the payment confirmation on a VASK client portal, especially for Spain, but it still shows pending. In such a situation, we get the penalty. How can we resolve such an issue? Can we send the proof of payment in another way?
Thank you for this question, because it's going to allow me to go through the process in order to get the submission made in Spain. So it's very important that you always click confirm submission. When you click confirm submission in your client portal, it will pop up a window saying, have you paid your VAT liability? It's not just the proof of payment the only thing that we need. The thing that we need is to get that the amount, the VAT liability on the Spanish VAT account, our office in Spain, in order to submit the VAT return on your behalf. If we haven't received the money by the 20th or before, we won't be able to submit the VAT return on your behalf. So in those cases, and only in those cases when the money didn't reach our office by the 20th, which is the deadline, the submission will be late and you will probably get a penalty. In regards of the proof of payment, you can upload the proof of payment, and you can always send us the proof of payment through the client portal support option, so by Zendesk. But as I said, the important thing is to get the money from the Spanish office. Otherwise, we won't be able to submit the VAT return. It's not just the proof of payment, it's the amount have been, if we haven't received the amount by our office in Spain. I don't know if you want to.
No, perfect. If you do have any follow-up question, put it on the chat and we can go through it.
Cool. We have another one from Felipe. This one says, regarding Regime 42, I understand if I'm importing from China to France and then sending the goods to other European countries, I don't have to pay the VAT import taxes in France. And once the goods reach the final European destination, let's say Spain, I won't have to pay the import VAT neither there. Do you want to go ahead with that one?
Yeah, exactly like that. It's the same as in Netherlands. The same principle. You then don't pay import VAT and duties. This is all through the PVA scheme that Yuri was mentioning. So that's the beauty of it. And I guess that's maybe why they've reduced how many people can use it. But as a European company that Felipe, you said you were, then you're all good to use it and you wouldn't have to pay.
Nice. Okay.
See, lots of great questions on the chat. Thank you.
Loads of them. Yeah, thank you for that. We've got one here from Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. This one says, is a storage unit in Spain the same as a warehouse? Yes, kind of. We are a US company with a storage unit in Spain, and we ship items for trade-in, and they're trying to figure out if we are supposed to be charging trade-in VAT on our invoices to them.
Okay. I guess when we say warehouse, it's even if you're storing in your garage, you still have to have a VAT number. Storage is storage. It doesn't matter where. So as a U.S. company, especially if you're shipping into Spain and storing in Spain, even if it's any kind of warehouse, you should have the VAT number. In regards to the second part, if you should be charging them VAT, it depends where they're incorporated. So because it's a B2B transaction, if they're incorporated in Spain, I don't actually know if trade-in is, then you would apply VAT. But if they're incorporated anywhere else, then it's just a zero VAT invoice. Anything else to add on that one? All good.
Yeah, just the other thing was she said that we ship from the storage unit in Spain. So exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're sending from Spain. Again, I don't know where you're sending to, where trade-in is. It's going to depend if you charge them VAT or not.
Nice. This one from Juan Campos. This one says, when we upload the VAT transfer confirmation, why can't we see the attached PDF to confirm that you have received? I'm concerned that the client portal does not work in this regard, as I have been asked to send payment confirmations that I'm completely sure that I uploaded on your portal.
I will be happy to have this one because we are seeing these same problems with several of our clients. The problem is not the upload, the proof of payment, is that once you upload the proof of payment, you need to click also confirm payment. Otherwise, it's going to be like an active payment due, and you are going to receive reminders that you have to pay that VAT liability. It's not just uploading, it's just you have to also click confirm payment.
Okay. Very big step there. I guess that's what most of our clients are experiencing.
And he said also, not often, but already 3 times.
Yeah. So Juan, can you try and press confirm and see if that helps?
Yes, confirm payment, upload, and then afterwards confirm payment, and it will change the status to complete. It should change to complete once you have done those steps. Thank you.
Nice one. This one from Ayman Shohib says, what is the period needed in average to have the, I presume that intra number you're talking about, intra-EU number. So what is the period needed in average to have the intra-EU number so it can be added to Amazon? I have Germany, France, Ireland VAT number under AVASK for my UK company.
Yeah. I mean, it usually takes our usual time frame now that we've had someone in Spain that can go in person is 6 months. So that's why I was concerned to see the 10 months and the 13 months on the other hand. We can reapply for those ones. But Ayman, for you, it would probably be 6 months if you haven't applied yet. But again, you don't need it necessarily unless you're doing movement of goods. Until then, throughout these 6 months, you can use your local VAT number to store in Spain and sell from Spain. That's not an issue.
Very good. Another one from Felipe. He absolutely loves us today. Thank you for all the questions, Felipe.
Netherlands this time.
Yeah, this one says, regarding the Netherlands, is it true that Amazon, even though it is pushing sellers to open this marketplace, is not allowing companies outside the Netherlands to store the goods in the local warehouses at the moment? You need to be a company from the Netherlands to be able to store there.
Correct.
Yes. Aren't there some instances where it's like invite
only? Yes. Yeah. But Amazon isn't pushing you to open the marketplace. They're just asking you to have the listings active. So you don't have to store in Netherlands. They just want you to have the platform open for Netherlands companies to buy, or Netherlands customers to buy. But they could be buying from other warehouses. But you're right, invite only as well. We just don't know who gets invited and who doesn't. I assume because Netherlands is quite a new one, they're just testing the market. And then, Felipe, it might be open to more companies. But you're right. Right now, it's just Netherlands companies, which is a shame. But at least you could have your listings open and Netherlands customers can still buy from your products elsewhere. So hopefully they're not forcing you too much to open it, but it is a benefit in my opinion.
The thing is, excuse me, the thing is as well, where you see like where the fulfillment centers are, if you go and have a look on a map, you'll see that the ones in France will be strategically placed around the north side of the French border so that you can get easy access back into Netherlands as well, so that you can service those Dutch customers really quickly. And the same for Germany. the way that the fulfillment centers are placed, they usually strategically put around the borders so that you can then go westwards back into Netherlands and then eastwards into Poland as well. So the way that they've put them, it's so that you can get easy fulfillment into the country where you are actually storing, but then also to the country next door where you may not actually be storing.
Perfect. I think that's the end of the questions. Again, I think we still have quite a few viewers, so if you have any other questions, pop them on the chat. But most importantly, a reminder that our Black Friday promotion starts on Monday and it's for a whole month. If you're an existing client and you want to add on additional services, we can apply this for you. So it's 1 month discount. That's it. If you sign up to any services, we can apply it for you.
Nice. We've got a follow-up question as well, which I'll just pop onto the screen again from Felipe. So that's clearly just been prompted by what I said. So will there be a strategic movement to store in France? I don't really know what you mean by that, to be honest, but I think you're just saying that if you store in France, can you get easy fulfillment back into Netherlands? Yeah. So the thing is, you're not going to be Prime eligible within the Netherlands unless you are physically storing there. But you know, it might be next day delivery, or it might be the day after. So it's still going to be very quick for those customers who are based in the Netherlands. But you only get that Prime eligibility if you are physically storing your goods in that country. And in order to physically store your goods in that country, you must have the VAT number. So hopefully that answered the question for you anyway, Felipe.
Great. And I think, Jennifer, we originally talked to you about storing in Spain. You're asking about B2B reverse charge. I think, Christina, this is something you've dealt with in the past, right? Reverse charge for B2B.
This is when you are selling goods. You are selling goods for a company that is incorporated in Spain. Because you are not incorporated in Spain, in that case, you have to apply the reverse charge, and there is no VAT to include in the invoice. Yeah, this is the case when it's a B2B and it's not incorporated in Spain, the company, because you are outside Spain. You say that it was a United States US company. Yeah, in that case, you have to apply the reverse charge.
Yeah. And then we actually have a workflow that maybe is useful for Jennifer, because it depends where you're incorporated, where they're incorporated, if it's a B2B or B2C. And it's not just Spain that has reverse charge, it's a few more countries.
Yes, France as well. And France and UK as well. Yeah.
So although originally I gave the example that B2B companies would have to apply VAT on the invoices, you're right, there is reverse charge, but you have to meet all the requirements. So we could always send you that flow chart and you could check if that's applicable to you.
Thank you for that one. We have another one from Howard. This one says, for filing VAT in the UK, we send goods from Germany or Taiwan to FBA UK with UK VAT and EORI number for postponed VAT accounting. Nice, nice setup. The actual sales on Amazon are only when the invoices are issued to end customers. From Germany to FBA UK, we cannot issue invoice as the stocks belong to ourselves. How can we deal with such a situation?
With invoices, it's hard because we don't really get involved with the issuing of invoices. I know there's a lot of partners that we work with that help with invoices. So you're struggling when it comes from Germany to the UK, right? Rather than UK storage to UK. I think that's what I understood. When you say you can't issue invoices, I'd like to maybe know why. Is it something on the system blocking it? Is it that you don't have the final customer details? So that I just need to know a little bit more before giving you a final answer. But just so you know, AVASK doesn't necessarily help with invoices, but we can obviously look into it. But Howard, if you could put maybe some more information on the chat, that would be great.
That one says we can only issue pro forma invoice, but cannot be accepted by AVASK client portal.
Oh, our portal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The thing is that we need to have a proper invoice with invoice number, the date, the VAT number. There are some requirements that I can send you as well. All the invoice requirements that those requirements are not AVASK requirements, are the tax office requirements. So in order to claim any VAT, any input VAT, we need to have the proper invoice that we know it will be accepted by the tax office. Otherwise, we cannot accept because it can trigger a tax investigation. And this is something that nobody wants.
We have a follow-up question from Simone that says, can we all have the flow chart, please? And a nice smiley face with a little nose on it.
Yeah, I think maybe what we could do actually is a session on reverse charge in the next month's broadcast, and then we can send you all the workflow, the chart. So we can do that one in the next one.
And you only get that because you asked so nicely with a little smiley face as well.
Yeah, we can cover the reverse charge in all countries because Italy is as well one of the countries that applies reverse charge.
Perfect.
Next month. Perfect. If you do have any other topics as well that you want us to cover in the next one, let us know, because we're open to suggestions, happy to discuss anything. And if anything wasn't clear, we can obviously go through it again. We do still have on the screen the Black Friday promotion if you want to scan and ask us for anything. If you don't have EPR, you don't have OSS, you want another VAT number. So anything you want, we can give you a discount for this whole month. Thank you, Felipe, for all your questions.
Thank you, Felipe, for your questions. And I can see you're also jumping on the bandwagon with that little smiley face as well, which we love to see, spreading positivity. If there are no more questions, I think we wrap it up at that. You agree?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.